Hey YouTube, Rayzer13 here with a deck of the month for July. I live in Florida, so I made a deck of the month to mimic our weather. It's a cloudy build because all it's been doing here is raining. Um, and it's my girlfriend's deck. I just give a little tips here and there, but mainly she decides what goes in and whatnot. So let's get started. 2 Cloudy and Eye of the Typhoon, 3,000 beater, 8-star. Same Cloudy and Destroy effect. If you twist him to defense or he's changed by enemy controller or whatever, he's destroyed. When he attacks, you change the battle position of all monsters except Cloudians. He's really good for those high attack monsters that you can't get over, but he's at 3,000, so he doesn't really need to worry about it. So it's like inflicting damage on weak monsters. Yeah, so he's pretty good. 2 Nimbusman. He is a 1 tribute, 1,000, kind of weak, but his effect makes up for it. He gets 300 attack for every clouding counter on the field, and the way this deck works, it generates a lot of counters. 2 of them, because they can get pretty high. They fuel the deck's win condition. Next, we have 3 Cloudian Altus. Mine and my girlfriend's personal favorite Cloudian, because with this format, you need a lot of hand control, and with his effect, you can take Cloudian counters off anywhere from the field to make your opponent discard 1 card. 3 counters per card you want him to discard, and with this deck you put a lot of counters on all monsters, so your opponent has a lot of useless counters unless you're going to updraft him or something, but this card makes use of those counters and drains your opponent's hand in the process. Cloudian Cirrostratus, same principle as Altus, except he can only take them off himself, and you take 2 counters off and blow up a monster. Same, all Cloudians, except for the ones I say don't, have the effect that if you're switch to the defense position, they die. When he's summoned, he gets 1 counter for every Cloudian on the field, even for himself. Same thing with Cloudian Acid Cloud, except you take 2 off and blow up a spell or trap card. We run 3 of him, because, spell and trap, you don't need to run MST, Dust Tornado, Twister, all that. He's got a built-in MST for 2 Cloudian counters, and he also gets 1 for every Cloudian on the field when he's summoned. Cloudian Storm Dragon. Only run 2 because he's a special summon and he's not as good as the rest of them, but you remove a Cloudian in your graveyard, special summon him, 1,000 attack, can't be destroyed by battle. Once per turn you can put a Cloudian counter on anything on the field, so, he's a free counter. All the Cloudians I've listed cannot be destroyed by battle except for Eye of the Typhoon. He can be destroyed by battle. And so can our next Cloudian. And 2, Ultimate Sheep Clouds. They're kind of like the Dandelion for Cloudians. Really good to get out your Eye of the Typhoon or your Nimbusman. They're a solid defense monster. Yeah, really good. And the tokens can only be used for tribute for a Cloudian. That's why you don't see them running around in Monarch decks or anything like that, because that would just be broken. 2 Poison Cloud. They can be destroyed by battle. They have a 0 attack and 1,000 defense, and when they are destroyed, the monster that destroyed them is automatically destroyed and your opponent takes 800 damage. So set him face down, good to go. Ghost Fog. I was playtesting 3. It works alright, but not as good as 2, because you make room for your second Eye of the Typhoon and your Storm Dragon and stuff like that. But when he's destroyed, you can distribute Cloudian counters for each level the monster that destroyed him. So if Dark Armed attacks him, you get to distribute 8 counters anywhere. He just stockpiles the counters for your combos later. Morphing Jar. This deck drains hand pretty quickly. And that's it for the monsters. So moving on to the spells. 3 Cloudian Squall. Once per turn, or not once per turn, but during your standby phase, you can put 1 Cloudian counter on every face-up monster on the field. If you have 2 of these on the field at one time, like your opponent starts flipping out, like he does not know what to do. Now 2 Sanctuary in the Sky, because Cloudians can't be destroyed by battle, and they're all fairies except for Poison Cloud, who's a fiend. The Sanctuary in the Sky, if you control a fairy type, you take no damage, so while your Cloudians are in attack, you don't take any damage. And 1 messenger piece for stall, it's, a random tech choice. Valhalla, most of them are fairies, so you can drop a Nimbusman for nothing with a Valhalla, and Summon Cloud is a Valhalla for clouds. If you summon something out of the graveyard and it leaves the field, Summon Cloud goes, but you can also do it from hand if you have no Cloudians or monsters. Lightning's a staple. Swords is more for stall. Heavy. Reborn's a staple. 2 salvage to get back your lost Cloudians. You could also run Pot of Avarice in this deck, but I prefer salvage because it gets them to your hand. It's just pretty good. Alright, and moving on to the traps. The Spirit Barrier, 3 of them. If you're not running this in a Cloudian deck, you should just stop playing Cloudians altogether, because this is the same thing as Sanctuary in the Sky, but trap form, and it's not a field spell. So having it as a trap is really good, because when your opponent goes to attack, he's like, oh, game, you flip Spirit Barrier, you're safe. It keeps your Cloudians safe, and it keeps you safe with your life points. Really versatile in this deck. Like, I couldn't think of a combo for this card without Cloudians. 3 Reckless Greed, because the deck does run out of hand and you need to replenish it. So Morphing Jar, Reckless. They need to make like a water allure. That'd be really neat. And last but not least, 2 Updraft. So after you've swung with your Nimbus Men and your Eye of the Typhoon, you updraft for game, because Nimbus Men should be pumped up with some counters, and then you updraft, it removes all counters on the field and nukes for 300. So it's like a DD Dynamite, or I don't know, some other kind of burn spell that burns for 300 for every other type of something on the field or removed from play. Updraft is just really nice. 3 is too much of a dead draw, and I only had 2 ultimates, so. Yeah, so that's my deck of the month for June, Girlfriend's Cloud deck. Rate, comment, subscribe. I only do random decks. I don't do top decks. They're just lame. Like, I have a Blackwing deck, but I won't be showing that until Blackwing stop being good, because I'm not a typical Yugi community guy. So, I reached 150 subscribers. Thank you, all my subscribers. Keep going. I want to get to 200. I should be posting up some duel videos for those guys who have been asking about duels for my Karibo deck, because I had a guy said that 6 cards for combo is way too much, and he'll be surprised at how much I draw the combo, even after my opponent cuts. So, yeah, keep an eye out for that. What else? Oh, and a shout out. I don't remember your name, but you also requested the Cloudian deck after I had it set in mind to do it for July. So, yeah, whoever you were, you probably will watch the video. Shout out to you. Oh, before I go, and my Sheep Cloud tokens. I know they're smoke balls, but they're nice for Sheep Cloud tokens, and blue cases too. So, yeah, rate, comment, subscribe. Peace.